Legion. CLG Black, they have the option. They're going to go ahead, grab blue side, first ban, first pick, see what they decide to take out. And Nocturne will be the first one out. So now, do you think there's any change in any banning strategies now that there's this temporary sub of Atlanta?
I will say, Legion, they're always very well known for playing AoE heavy teams and having a lot of team combo synergy, particularly with Kennen. Probably on Kennen is a very common pick for them, and it's a very common matchup. Atlanta could play the Kennen, and that would be a champion that would be very easy and would fit into what Legion wants to do. But I do remember Atlanta used to play a lot of Karthus, and that was one of his top champions. And Karthus is just an all-around monster. Karthus was, this is on live, so Karthus was nerfed a little bit. So I don't know whether or not we'll see that ban, but that was something that Atlanta was known for, playing that Karthus. We'll have to see. I don't think it's going to change anything really. I think that for the most part they're going to play based on who they see or what they normally see Legion play. Because usually when you have a sub, you don't ban based on the sub. The sub is just going to play something generic that they can fit in with the team.
Fair enough. So there you go. Janna being banned out along with Morgana. Morgana would be working wonderfully, with that sort of, AoE comp. You have just right there, as soon as all the AoE damage goes off, Morgana right in the middle with all the stuns and all that damage would be huge. Could have been a huge benefit for Legion, but alas, she is banned out, and Alistar going to be the last ban for Legion. So Alistar and Malphite, that's a lot of disruption in the middle of team fights, but Shen is open. CLG Black going to grab him up.
Yeah, definitely a strong all-around pick. I want to see if I think Hoodstomp plays a lot of Hecarim. I might be wrong. I don't exactly know. I'm probably all mixed up on their roles, but I think he plays Hecarim a bit, and that would be always a fun thing to see. I mean, that's just a completely random aside. He probably won't. It's a very unusual pick. But I don't know. We'll have to see what Legion picks up. Soraka is open. Soraka is definitely a strong all-around pick.
Oh, yeah.
Something. There you go.
And bot lane could just be out and decided right here, so you can go ahead grab someone like Graves or
Graves. Demon does play
Ashe,
a lot of Graves.
You can go ahead. Who else can we grab here?
Well, the issue, Ashe is kind of a weird first pick. So you could first pick Ashe. It's just that I don't know. You kind of need to have a team built with Ashe in mind.
Okay,
so,
well, then again, they also have all the Pulsefire Ezreal skins. So
that's true.
They could have just grabbed Ezreal right there, but instead they're grabbing the Amumu.
So and it goes with that AoE synergy that they like to play. And
really
Loud Immortus, he does tend to play support junglers. That's always what he's been known for. He's played Sejuani back when no one played Sejuani. Taking up the Karthus, actually a really nice pick from CLG Black. Don't want to have that Karthus Amumu synergy. That would be terrifying.
Oh yeah, it just Amumu just gets everyone in the ult, and Karthus just standing out in front with the AoE. It's just a big mess to deal with. And Taric also going to be grabbed up.
But look at all these. Look at all these nerfed globals that we have in this game.
Yeah, it's they're still global. Who does?
You're damn right, they're still global.
Damn right. Who cares if the cooldown's been increased? They're still global ults, and they're still fantastic boons to any team that can grab them. CLG Black going to have the advantage in that respect. But there's still a lot of positions left open. There's still going to be. It's also not decided yet if Shen's actually going to be top lane or jungle. He could do either. He's an ambiguous pick like that. But Corki looks like he's going to be paired up with Soraka in bot lane.
Wow.
And, is that going to be a top lane Poppy? Oh, wait, no.
I can't imagine it is, but Cruiser is just like a man among men, so I would give him the most respect. I'm going to message him right after this game and be like, Cruiser, beast, if he actually does this.
So thinking about
2, 1, 0. He's going with the Poppy. No, last second swap Poppy.
No,
yes.
we're sticking with it. Top lane Poppy.
Very cool.
For Legion. That takes guts.
Cool.
That takes guts.
And it should be pretty interesting to see. I'm thinking that he's going to be matching up against Shen. And Poppy is actually really strong top lane. He's deceptively strong later. We'll talk about that in a second. One thing that I think is interesting with the Karthus nerfs, and I'm not sure that out of Karthus, he's going to be the one most affected. I don't think it's going to affect him that much. Because Karthus, you need to spam his ultimate. So I'm kind of wondering. I don't think that it's going to hurt him that much, because late game, it's still the same cooldown. That's really where it's important to have that late game. However, what it does do, once the ultimate's on cooldown, it gives the other team a little bit longer reprise. There's no longer the fear of the ultimate, which is the big thing. It's not how effective the ult is going to be helping his team. It's the fear of the ultimate being there. So we'll see how that kind of works out. They are going to be switching up their lanes. So instead of Shen top, which may or may not be what they wanted to start with, it's probably going to be Olaf top
Yeah.
with Shen in the jungle. And so that's actually a really nice pick. And Poppy in lane, the passive for Poppy is one of the
Yeah.
strongest passives in the game. It is such a ridiculously OP passive.
Yeah.
It's any damage that is greater than 10% of your HP, which is basically any nuke in the game, will be reduced by half. So it just makes you so tanky. If you get regen, it's huge, but dots and true damage are very effective against that. Olaf, he has the true damage. He can very easily, get through some of that.
It seems
Actually, I'm not sure if true damage goes through. I'll have to think about that.
It seems like Vlad may be the last pick for Legion, but I would like to see. I would have liked to see someone who's a little bit more synergistic with the ults, like Galio or even Oriana was just tweaked. I think I would have liked to see. I'd like to see an Oriana, but Vlad, he's good too. He's got all that raw damage. But the thing is, though, we're going to be looking for the initiations a lot purely coming in from Amumu, though. So, but hey, there's still something you can go ahead and get off of that. And Shen's got the taunt, Tarek's got the stun, you got the wall ping coming from Karthus. So I think this may be more of maybe more looking of a counter initiation team here on Legion.
Yeah, it's actually the true damage does bypass their passive. So I
Ooh.
thought that it did. I wanted to check real quick because that would have a big impact on the lane. So yes, the true damage from Olaf can wreck Poppy. That'll be interesting. But they have a really strong team right now, and Vladimir will be very safe to farm in the mid lane. Karthus as well, though. He's going to be farming pretty easily. It's going to be tough for Vladimir to get in that harass because of how long range Karthus has and the length of his wall.
Yeah. So I think Amumu, he can definitely be aggressive. After he hits 6, he can go ahead and get the ult off. But I think they're looking for just CLG Black to call the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Let them get in with their stuns and their taunts and whatever they may have. And then once everyone's inside causing chaos, Legion can just go ahead and hit back with all just pure absolute damage.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. One nice thing that I'm kind of excited about with the Poppy, oh wow, are they swapping it up? So they're actually, second,
Poppy mid?
I don't know if Atlanta's going to be going top or if he's going to be going mid. And so this is actually really good. I think Atlanta is going to be taking Poppy mid, and it was a last-second swap. It was just like these awesome mind games from Legion, which is really cool. So Olaf versus Vladimir, it's a very even matchup. It can really go either way. It's a skill matchup. We can talk about that in a second, but Poppy versus Karthus, you want Poppy to farm into that late game because late game Poppy is one of the most disruptive champions in the game. Karthus is basically a free farm lane for whoever you're going against. Like Karthus can't really do a lot to dissuade Poppy from farming. He does have the Q versus the melee range, but that's going to be tough to hit. He's usually going to hit Poppy and a minion, which means it's not going to be dealing really that much damage. And considering that Shen doesn't have the most aggressive ganks in the world, the ganks are solid from Shen, but not, terrifying. Poppy should be pretty safe to farm in that mid lane, which is actually a really cool concept. And gets him away from Olaf, which is the big thing.
Right. Yeah, because how's the Olaf Poppy matchup? How's that?
Well, like I said earlier, the true damage from Olaf goes through Poppy's passive, and so Poppy can be kind of swishy early. Olaf is one of the strongest melees in the game, so he can kind of harass her some, try and wear Poppy down.
So yeah, from what it appears to be, it may be mid lane Poppy against this Karthus, and it's going to be a really interesting match. You don't see this like a whole lot. Like sometimes, I remember actually not like a few months ago. I think there was a mid lane Kassadin went up against like a Tryndamere and things like that.
Tryndamere was actually a really common counter to Kassadin for a while because Kassadin did so well against ability power champions, and Tryndamere is just as that melee versus melee just crushed, and then he had the regen with his Q where he didn't have to worry about Kassadin's harass.
So it's going to be a very, very interesting mid lane. You're going to have to definitely keep an eye up on that. Then you also got bot lane. You got Corki Soraka. That's Corki's got every tool he needs to just sit back and farm pretty easy. Enough damage in him as well. But Taric and Graves could be a pretty mean combo down bot. All of that armor shred could put a huge hurt on onto Soraka or Corki, whichever one they end up grabbing. You can take a look real quick at Atlanta's page here.
Poppy. I wanted to take a look at Poppy's page real quick.
14-10-6.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting mastery.
I love that offensive tree split. Actually getting both the armor and magic pen. That is interesting. I like that.
I mean, he's got tons of cooldown reduction. He's got mana regen and health regen. So that's huge. Having all of that regen on Poppy, he can just constantly use his abilities, and then going with the health regen on the Quince on Poppy. So he's going to actually have a lot of sustain in lane. When you couple that with the fact that Poppy has that passive that we talked about, that regen is always massive on Poppy. So it's actually a really cool page. I love what Legion's doing. I love what Atlanta's doing with the Poppy in the mid. It's a really cool setup. And one thing that I'm really excited about is late game having the Poppy for the fights. And right now, you don't want to have a close range team against Karthus, because Karthus's AoE is just so devastating, and late game Karthus is so strong. But instead of Karthus dying in the middle of the team, Poppy could throw off his ultimate on like Taric or Graves or something, and then dive straight onto Karthus, get that split up, be able to take him down, knock him away from the team fight, and then, you know, just have that kind of situation working out for him. So if Poppy can kill Karthus outside of the team fight, that would be awesome. So it's a really cool concept. I'm wondering if he'll go any sort of ability power. I'm really curious to see how he's going to build, because AP Poppy, if you go Deathfire's Grasp, that he has AD right now for his runes, but if you go Deathfire's Grasp on Poppy with your ultimate, you can just insta-kill basically anyone you're matching up against, and it's just, you know, absolutely crushing.
So there we go, loading on into the game here, and we're going to see how Poppy builds from this point out. And I don't know, we'll have to see where it goes from here.
It's
So-
probably going to be more of a standard like Triforce Poppy build.
Yeah.
It would just be cool to see if at some point he goes from that Triforce and transitions into a some nukes or something like that.
Yep. So Atlanta going to be heading on into the mid. We'll see how that goes. But everyone, like, we got Loud Mortis leading the charge here down bot lane, and it looks like CLG Black, they have a very, very similar idea. No vision on either team right now. Legion's hugging that wall. They're almost, it's like they're psychic here. They know.
Yeah.
They know where CLG Black is right now, because it's not too uncommon for a Mumu to actually go around. And there you go, Demon Wall with the vision. They find out. Hood Stomp has been found out.
really nice job.
Wow.
And Corki's Phosphorus Bomb is one of the best abilities early in the game, and anything that gives you that kind of vision. So they recognize they want to get this invade, and actually they're coming right back up for it, turning around, and so they haven't seen him yet. Maybe they have. They pinged out and they started running out of there, so they have the ward up here. Really nice job from them, but it could set Loud Mortis behind, so that's definitely going to be a concern for Amumu.
But it looks like, you know, CLG Black, they'll be safe, but there is a ward inside that bush, and, you know, Nubish had the, you know, the right mind to actually just go ahead, place it on in, because they know they're being invaded. They're not going to be. It's going to be a rough time. But good on a little more section lead the charge to look and try for a mutual steal if that is indeed what's going to happen. But as you'll see, CLG Black has also awarded their own blue.
And they actually just saw Poppy walk past. So unfortunately, the ward is here, and they are making a fast little getaway back to their own
Huge.
blue.
The minions will see them actually making their way on over. So now it's Legion. You know, are you going to stay? Are you going to fight? Are you going to leave? Leaving would be the definite better option in this instance, but Atlanta might get caught. Oh, there's a taunt going down on Atlanta. He's caught a little bit too far, trying to get back to the mid. Stun coming down from Taric. Heals going down, but it will not be enough. First blood going to Zuna. Atlanta just being a little bit, just went the wrong way. He just went the wrong way.
Yeah, that was unusual. He's like, "Hey, I'm
Where am I going?
I'm supposed to go back to mid lane. Let me go to mid lane." Oh, that's right. We knew the enemy was there. So
Right.
I don't know if that was maybe a lag issue, or I don't know if it was just a misplay. He thought that they had transitioned over to blue. Lattimortis going to be picking up this red, so he gets the level 2, but look at how much health and mana he's lost. That's going to slow him down so fast. And Graves and Taric are actually kind of set up right here to get some nice damage on Demon Law. Gets the Valkyrie out. Really nice job from him.
So he will get out of there, but, you know, it's going to be a while until Soraka actually gets in here. Nubish, you know, we come in here with a heal very hot down there onto Demon Wall. Going to be a little bit of a benefit, but there's the thing, though. Now you had CLG Black here on the bot lane. They've been leveling this entire time. And also, you know, Nubish is going to be a little bit behind. Demon Wall is going to be a little bit behind. It's just a huge advantage right now for CLG Black.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal. Shen was the one who picked up the first blood, so that's the one benefit. And you don't want to give it to a jungler, but Shen is already a slow jungler, so it's going to speed up his jungle a little bit, which kind of sucks. I mean, you don't have that advantage of Shen, you know, being a slow jungler anymore.
But then
but
again,
even so, it's not going to kill them.
But then again, Amumu, you know, did start red,
Right.
did start out slow already, only just now getting the blue, and wow, Atlanta getting aggressive on Link, wants to get a little bit of payback. dude, going through the minefield and just ignoring, getting through all those laneways and bot lane. Nubish does get the kill onto Hoodstomp. We'll just go back for a second and see how that goes out.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of bursts. They just hit level 3 on Graves, so trying to get that quick burst, and then Demon Law actually turning it around, and with the double exhaust, they pick up the kill. He's right in the minions. Demon Law does, oh wow, just barely get out of there with the Valkyrie. So really nice job from him. They'll back out, but they have the nice control over this lane, so Bloodwater has to take a step back.
And then also gotta take a look at Shen as well. I mean, he's doing a pretty speedy. He does not have the blue, unfortunately, anymore. So Amumu, Loud Mortis trying his best to try and catch up, just sitting back in the jungle farming. May not actually see too much action from him coming into lanes until he hits 6, until he gets that ult. Those ganks are just gonna be a lot more powerful once he has that huge AoE stun.
One thing I'm really curious about is what's going to happen once Poppy hits level 6, and if Amumu can just backdoor on Karthus and Poppy tanks it with the ultimate, just dives Link, and that's going to be a really scary prospect. The fact that Karthus is pretty vulnerable to ganks.
Wow. Atlanta just has no fear. He's just got no fear against this Karthus. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really nice matchup for him right now, and if they can prevent Karthus from getting that blue later, that'll be even better. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out, but right now it's definitely pretty nice for them.
So right now, Cruiser actually pushing the lane out pretty far. Good for him for the time being. Shen is actually down in the bot forest farming. There isn't a whole lot of ward coverage up near top for Legion. They have one at the entrance to the bottom blue jungle. But they also have a pretty offensive ward here down bot right into Tribrush, just in case Shen wants to get a little saucy and nice. Another ward there by the entrance to the Wraiths. So they just want to make sure that if Shen emerges from the jungle, if he's going for those ganks, they want to know where he is and where he's going. And there he is. Right as I'm saying that, he's spotted emerging from the jungle, looking to move up towards top lane.
Yeah, and Shen's kind of a slower jungler, so he's not really looking to get many ganks. Amumu as well. Amumu needs to hit 6, so he's fine with just sitting back and jungling. He's doing okay catching himself back up. Yeah. Vladimir will have to play a little bit defensively right now because he saw Amumu walk past that ward, like you said. But it's fine. I mean, it's pretty tough to tower dive Vladimir as is, but they could consider it with how tanky they are at this point.
So let's see. Let's also once Atlanta is now 6, has the ult available. So may see a pretty aggressive dive in the near future.
I still think it's incredible how much time he's wasting. And actually, Taric and Graves trying to engage in Demon Law once again. He turns it around. There's the Ignite, actually, though. And the Karthus ultimate as well. Demon Law very close to going down. He does. But they actually pick up the Graves as well, so nice job there. And then Vladimir actually walking into Zuda. His weight had paid off. And Olaf trying to chase him down. There's the pull, but they're going to be able to tank this pretty easily.
But Mortis, nice with the stun onto Zuna. Keep him still under the tower. But oh, the double kill.
Wow.
For Loud Mortis, wonderful timing.
And you don't want to dive a Vladimir early, so it almost worked out for them. They had the damage to do it, but Amumu jungling towards the top had plenty of time to help him out there, and really nice play from Loud Mortis, being in the right place at the right time.
Atlanta with that dash, getting a whole bunch of damage down onto Lake, and then it's just popping a potion and walking on back. No big deal. And just go ahead, just try his best to freeze the lane, but just be a little bit easier to have the tower take off some of that edge. Continue to farm under tower. You're still doing pretty good in mid Atlanta. There's the deficit is minimal, and also Poppy got the Philo Stone, Karthus with the lucky pick. So GP10's starting to be acquired here by both teams. There's a lot of Philo Stones actually.
Well, and that kill is just huge for the double kill is huge for Amumu. So he was behind early, but getting the double gold pretend at 8 minutes, that is fine. That is like just on pace for doing well. So he's completely caught back up, and now Zuna is level 4 to Amumu's level 6. So that's a struggle. You need to get that Shen ultimate quickly, and he's just been wasting a lot of time and then dying top. It's brutal.
So there's going to be a nice little window of time before Shen actually dings 6. Where Loud Mortis can just go ahead, pick a lane, and run amok if he so desires. Because any lane that receives pressure, unless Shen is nearby, he does not have the ultimate, he can't get in, he's not going to be able to protect, he's not going to have that positioning, he has to go there, he has to walk the long way, he can't be lazy. So this would be a good opportunity for Legion to actually just pick a lane and be super aggressive. They're going to have a good 2-3 minutes where they have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and they don't have the best dragon control with Amumu, but Poppy's actually really strong at dragon. If you haven't played Poppy, your Q, it's a massive damage boost, and it's percent health base, so you can actually kill dragon and baron very quickly. It has a cap, but against dragon that doesn't really matter that much. So they will have that option later if they can force bot out of position, so that'll be key. And Vladimir, now with that early advantage over Olaf, that's pretty huge because Olaf has the kill potential against Vladimir, but Vladimir easily out-harasses him and easily out-sustains him with his regen. Olaf has some regen too, but it's Vladimir that we're talking about. So,
yeah.
you know, it'll be interesting to see how Vec comes back into this lane, but now Cruiser is going to have a really nice time. He can just kind of farm up top. He knows he's generally going to be pretty safe. He still has to watch out for how much damage Olaf has when ganks come around, but he'll usually be okay.
Yeah, and you'll notice that Vec is actually leveling up the axes first. He's actually not going for the reckless swing, which is what a lot of Olafs do. And you know, it's usually like one of your best tools to actually try and chunk out Vlad as best you can. But I think that's a nice clear indication that Olaf wants to be safe. He wants to farm from a distance, and those axes allow him to do that.
Yeah, and actually Amumu setting up almost looked like he was going to dive mid for a second, but Shen popping out, so he's going to be safe.
Oh, stun going down onto Demon Lord. That is a lot of burst damage coming from the Graves. The Karthus ult not going to be enough, but there is still an ignite on him. He's drinking that potion as quickly as he can. But Nubish, will you be able to get away? Heal on yourself. The extra armor bonus is going to help out big time, and no, the kill will not happen.
Yeah,
bot lane.
Lauda Mortis was setting up to try and hold Vec in that top lane, try and maybe tower dive him, but Vec just barely able to get out of there, was able to hold off for a second.
Oh,
and actually the bandage toss.
Very well done from Lauda Mortis, and there's the reckless swing from Vec. You can only do so much. We'll go back and watch that kill in a second, but we still got Olaf being chased here. We'll be able to get out of there. Zuna's not too far back, but here comes Karthus as well. Will they try and counteract something? I don't know. We'll see, but we got to go back. We got to watch this one kill that happened down bot while we're watching it. The stun before it hit Corki.
Oh, the flash right out of that fog.
Wow.
One more attack with it would have been able to pick up that kill. And so Cruiser and Lauda Mortis, they should be okay to get out of there. But yeah, that quick burst from Corki is just huge early on.
Missile stronger than Dazzle. Just got out there that much quicker. And that is one of the dangerous things about Taric, is that he does need to get pretty close and personal in order to to get off his combo, the stun and the shatter and all that noise. Zuna getting some extra damage there on the Cruiser, and Cruiser actually popping the ult, wants to get this kill. There is the pull. The tower aggro is going to go back to the minions, and there you go, quick kill onto Shen, and he's still not 6 yet.
Yeah, he's just he's really far behind right now, so he can't be dueling with anyone right now. In the meantime, Demon Lord just forcing Hoodstop out of this lane is just going to harass him a little bit.
As he goes. What a jerk.
I mean, he's nothing but a whiskey delta, so he's...
Atlanta, he's returning, looking to search around. I think he's going to be trying to get some wards down. Might actually make an attempt here top lane, or just looking to defend. But you see, you got Loud Mortis and you got Nubish. Try and take out the dragon. They're going to need a little more help than that, but there is the bandage toss. A nice ult. Wonderful ult to get Bloodwater and Link together in that one. Karthus is going to be going bye-bye, but he's still going to be up for a few seconds.
He's still going to be doing some damage to Loud.
If he stole that dragon, that would have been hilarious to me, but unfortunately it's not the case. Loud Mortis getting by, getting away just barely, very low. He's going to have to back, but that is a dragon secured for Legion.
Yeah, and Legion is just playing fantastically right now. This game has been theirs through and through. Even with that early kill. Poppy,
whoa, look at Atlanta. Atlanta has every GP10.
Yeah.
He's got every single GP10,
and they all
even
work.
the Avarice sword.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he actually ends up building the Yumus, but he could legitimately go Deathfire's Grasp, and he could legitimately go like a Shurelya's. Shurelya's would work very well on Poppy. I mean, it all works very well with him, and he wants to farm. So Poppy, he knows, all right, I'm just going to be farming for a while. I'm going to get into late game, and then late game, I'm going to sell all my items and be the greatest thing ever. So I don't mind getting those gold pretends. That's fine. I mean, I'm really excited to see this Poppy late game. So it's going to be tough for CLG Black to deal with, but having the Karthus and having the Olaf, they can do a pretty good job if they can bait out the Poppy ultimate. That's the key, is that Poppy doesn't just absolutely wreck him while his ultimate is up.
There you go, Stud once again down onto the Demon. The Bloodwater is going to go ahead and get that, and a little bit of damage going, trying to fire the rockets as much as possible with his stomp. He wants that damage, but as he gets closer, he will be exhausted and does have to back up. But Bloodwater is in a bad spot right now. Demon Will, the Valkyrie over, confirms that kill. Now Shen is 6. Here comes the ult. Along with the Karthus ult, Demon Will may actually not survive this. There is the taunt. There's Zuna, and Huzop doing all the damage he needed. And there you go. That is the kill in retaliation. Now, finally, Shen has his ult and he can actually be a presence in these lanes.
Yeah, 14 minutes in to see the first Shen ult. That's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
It's not the most
ideal.
speedy of ults. But there you go, Cruiser and Vec up top lane. The Ignite's going down. Onto Cruiser, going to reduce a lot of that healing. But there's the Ghost being popped. Vec wants this kill, and those axes keeping him slowed. Another attack.
Oh, wow.
Ignite still going down. Will he live off of this? He will be fine. Wow,
very close to picking it up, and Loud Immortus in the meantime coming in, and there's the diving potential. The ultimate just barely nicking him, and Atlanta.
The ult, the bandage toss will go ahead and keep Link still. Atlanta will be able to, yes, he can. With that ult, it's no problem.
Yeah, so they pick up the kill very easily, so that's a really nice job there. But it's kind of interesting to see Vec able to pick up the kill on Bruiser there. Cruiser almost able to pull it off. Like, he just some really nice kiting into the bush, but Olaf just has so much killing potential early on. So that's what you like to see against Vlad. You want champions that can just take Vlad from 100 to 0, because he's going to be able to regen against anyone. He's going to be able to harass anyone. So you need to have that killing potential, which is why ADs tend to do so well against him.
Yep.
We'll see later on in the fights. They have fantastic AoE. I mean, Amumu, Vladimir, and Corki to just lay waste to whoever is in front of them, while Karthus is also trying to lay waste. But they're going to be obliterating whatever is standing in their way. And then Poppy, with the killing potential and that assassination, just, you know, able to clear things up. It's going to be really tough to deal with. But
and all those GP10s.
And all those GP10s.
All of them.
CLG Black also have a very strong late game. They have a lot of potential. If Olaf can get things going, then, you know, he could run amok through their AoE and just try and target down some of their champions. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And actually, Atlanta dodging onto a creep there, trying to get away from Link. He has enough HP along with that passive. He should be okay, but dipping back and forth, and Link taking a lot of damage from that turret.
Yep.
Atlanta, if he had a little bit more mana, he could almost pick that up. Shen with the backup, able to get him out of there.
Atlanta was ducking and weaving because he was waiting to try and bait Link in close enough so the tower would grab aggro. But yeah, as you said, unfortunately, Atlanta just did not have enough mana to go ahead and finish off of that kill. Gutsy. That's what describes that last play. It's just pure, absolute guts. Well, Mortis also going around top, but they're going to realize that Olaf has full backed pretty much. So pings were going down. They have an inkling the moon was there, and they were right. He's going to poke out. They're going to see him at tower. And I think Cruiser might actually just try and take out top tower straight away since the moon was here.
Yeah, I mean, he could. It's really low, so I'm assuming he doesn't even have to do anything.
He can fart on it, it'll
like
fall over.
Yeah, well, all right. The minions could take it out for him, so there you go. The minions grab it.
Yeah.
And he's farming pretty well for himself. He could be a little bit higher at this point, but even so, he's doing a pretty good job. And Demon Law, I think Demon Law's like trying to bait them in a little bit. He's waiting. It's like, I mean, he has his trigger finger on the Valkyrie. If Bloodwater throws off the stun, he can just take a step back. But getting that harass down is really nice, considering that he has the sustain with Soraka.
I think he's just. I think he's also doing his best to try and bait out the Shen ult. But there you go, Shatter, Dazzle out there on the Demon Law. He's gonna Valkyrie away. He will actually get to safety. And Hoodstop taking a fair amount of damage in the process, but the tower's also pretty low. Where you see Poppy and Amumu are actually now making their way, meandering down bot lane. Because CLG Black, they're pushed up a little bit too far here in bot lane, and Zuna will not see them. Now they got vision. Now they know Loud Mortis is here. Will we be able to get that bandage toss onto Hoodstop? No, the stun will be more enough, but he's actually going to keep going on this. Oh, there you go. Nice. Forcing the flash and forcing the Shen ult as well. So that's going to be
there for a second, and Vec still kind of getting some nice damage on the Cruiser up in the top lane.
Yep, Cruiser's just, ducking and leaving, but there's still a lot to be had. There's the Ignite going down onto Cruiser, forcing the pull. But he's going to wait for that. Oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? No, he will not.
The Soraka heal. They weren't really sure, so Soraka just throwing it off.
Yep.
They will be fine. But now, Graves and Taric, they've been able to go back and buy and come back full health, full mana. So this is a good situation for them. It's just that they don't have the team support to follow up on it, so it's going to be tough.
Karthus is away, Olaf is away. Shen can try his best to help. But the thing is, though, Atlanta's here with a lot of damage, and Zuna, you're in bad position. You could get slammed up against the wall here. There you go. There's the stun onto Shen. He's going to be behind, and there's Amumu with the ult to pop everything, and Zuna just out of position. And that's what happens if you're playing up against a Poppy. If there's a wall, you do not stand by it. You do not want to be a wallflower.
Oh, but
Poppy's
Vec.
around, but there is the ult coming in from Vlad. Pulled once again. Hex Drinker proc down onto Vec. Will he survive this?
Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
I thought he was going to survive that.
Yeah, just barely able to pick up the kill. It looked like he was, but Vec just barely able to get in there, and so the Hex Drinker definitely working out for him, but actually another stun from Bloodwater. All of that AoE right up front. Demon Law has to get out of there. He will be okay, though. The Karthus ultimate isn't there. Nubish also flashing, doesn't want to get caught by that stun cooldown, so they do back off. But now you're starting to see the pressure that Graves and Taric can put. They have so much upfront burst damage along with that Spell Shatter and all that AoE.
But you know, as he started hitting
like
fights,
that.
though,
That was like I'm not even going to go into what
it's delicious.
Sounded like. Yeah,
it's delicious. It is a very delicious combo they have down there, and all the damage that they're capable of is just amazing. And hopefully, it'll translate later into these team fights, though, because Atlanta's looking pretty beefy with all them GP10s, and you got the Sheen, pretty good item on Poppy, I hear. You got the Trinity on Corki, that's pretty good. And, you know, and Vlad's actually doing not too bad himself, but Amumu right now, Loudmortis is actually being quite a boss. Started out a little slow in the jungle, but now is still a constant, like, 2-level lead over Zuna at pretty much all times. The ults have been on point, getting everyone they need to. It's I don't know. I think Legion definitely has the edge here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5k gold advantage for them, and
Yep.
the fact that Poppy has been farming evenly almost with Karthus is huge. He's actually probably ahead of Karthus in gold when you consider the gold. You know what? I'll just take a look. 7,300. He's slightly behind, but you know, still, he's doing a really nice job, and he's going to be really close to finishing up some really big items. So that's seriously going to be a concern for them. They need to take Poppy out of the fights, or at least bait out his ultimate. We'll have to see how that kind of works out. And the nice thing with Poppy mid is, hey, you know, Amumu gets to hold on to the blues. So bonus, Loudmortis keeping those blue buffs all game, it does help speed up his jungle.
Yeah, and if you can manage to still get away as a jungle to take your own blues, and not only is the buff amazing, but you know it's the gold and it's the XP. It helps you. You know, you're less behind if you keep the blues for yourself. Stun. Gonna annoy Amumu just slightly there, but there you go. The wall of pain actually gonna be catching out Amumu. Going to be catching out Loudmortis and Atlanta, but they will be able to back off just in time. Demon Law looking to push the wave up here against Hood Stomp. And you got Atlanta and Nubish still in mid, trying to get some pressure on, but Loudmortis trying to 1v1 the Shen. But actually also looking to steal some of the Wraiths as well. But Demon Law looking to evade evade the engagement here from Bloodwater. Like, no, you do not want to be stunned. Not in this position, not when you're alone. But you see Soraka and Amumu wandering down bot once again, warding up. And they may actually catch Bloodwater here.
Yeah,
they're
they
unaware
didn't
that he's
see
recalling
him,
in the
but
bush.
they're waiting for someone to walk up. So he's going to be safe. He's going to be able to get out of there. But Corki will probably be able to take down this turret. If Shen comes up, it's going to be too difficult for him to defend. So that'll be pretty nice for them. And Vladimir just continuing to farm up in this top lane, and he did have to get some cloth armors. So, you know, Olaf, because of his pressure, because of the fact that he was able to kill Vladimir a couple of times, it forced him in that defense. Oh, wow.
And Zuna still decided to stick around, but Demon Law wanted that kill. But Hoodstomp is not too far behind, and there, Nubish, can you get the hills? Can you get everything you need? Oh, he will go down, but here's Loudmortis to help clean up the day. Double kill. The Graves and the Shen are both down. Is he going to dive this? Does he want Bloodwater? I think he does. Nubish, can you support? Can you help him out? The exhaust going down.
Poppy's going to get it, though. Poppy's coming.
Oh, here comes Atlanta. This could be a very bad sandwich.
I thought they were going to pinch him.
No, they thought, yeah, they're just going to go ahead and back off. They got their 2. They got their tower. They got what they wanted. They're just going to go ahead and back off.
Yeah, but it's just a really nice play from Legion. So Corki knows he's going down. He's like, all right, well, I'll get what damage I can, and you know, there's not much to be done for it. So he was able to pick up the tower. He was able to grab a couple of kills for Loudmortis. Loudmortis 4-0 and 3 is Amumu. He'll take that. He's pretty satisfied at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And Vec actually diving Cruiser once again. He's
the
actually just going to go right underneath this tower. The pole is down, and he has plenty of damage with those axes. One more hit. There it goes.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to survive as well.
See, now things are
Or is he going to survive?
Oh, here comes Atlanta. Never mind. I was gonna say he's gonna get from that one scot free. But he's trying to juke out the Poppy. Also, does not want to be stunned up against the wall. That would be quite unpleasant. Vec, can you deny yourself here? That may be enough. Just one more shot. Something. Oh,
the ignite. Atlanta throwing on the ignite. Just barely couldn't get into range.
Very nice. Very well done. I'm sure they're all laughing about that. It's like, you thought you were getting away for free. You thought you were going to survive that. You thought you were going to deny not ignite still happening. And even then, even if the ignite wasn't there, I'm sure Atlanta would have just flashed for like an auto attack or something. You still would have gotten it. But there you go. Wall paint. Demon Wall's in a very tricky spot here. The taunt and everything. The stun will go down, attempting to defend the mid. And tier 1 in mid. Steel G Black's going to take that one.
Yeah, really nice play from CLG Black, able to pick up that kill. I mean, they have plenty of damage once team fights happen. We haven't seen a full team fight yet this entire game. And actually, Loud Immortus with the bandage toss. Atlanta, the flash, and then the knockback into the wall gets up that quick kill. Zuna chasing will taunt Loud Immortus underneath this tower, but they can actually dive this now, and Atlanta has plenty of damage. Is going to be taking this. In the meanwhile, Amumu gets the bandage toss, grabbing that Karthus. There's the kill. They should be okay. Soraka throwing off the heal, so they'll be able to get out of there. But the stun from Bloodwater onto Atlanta, and Vec is in hot pursuit.
Dubich does get the kill onto Atlanta. We'll keep him topped off, and there you go. They're going to be fine. Legion, wonderful, wonderful job on that set of kills. And we're just going to go back. We're going to look at this once more, too. Just too much damage for Hood Stomp to deal with. That slam from Poppy does so much work.
The flash from Loud Immortus.
Nice. Very well done. Very well done. And if Soraka's there, the wish on reserve can go ahead, throw that off, pretty much negate the majority of the Karthus ult damage, if not all of it.
Wow, actually, Shen walking back into the team. I guess they were chasing after him for a second? No. Okay, so everything's good. They come back. So yeah, really nice play from them. They actually grabbed the dragon as well on their way back. So just awesome play all around from Legion.
Yep, so Legion, they've got a pretty healthy lead up on themselves right now. It's about a 7K gold lead. They're more than double in kills here. They're looking so amazing right now. And now it's getting to to that mid game where Poppy can be an absolute real beast. Bought the Trinity Force, upgraded the Philostode into the Shirelius. It's all the movement speed you need to close the gap, get the slam you need. And Trinity on Poppy, that's something a lot of LoL players just have in their nightmares, really, because it's just so much damage coming in just from that one item on Poppy.
Yeah, I mean, Poppy already has a lot of damage inherently, so having the Sheen proc is huge. And then just having that kind of movement speed and slow and everything, it just gives Poppy some of everything. And the Shirelias is really nice, being able to close the gap. You can, I mean, you already have the damage, so you can play more as like a support tank. It's kind of like the old Olaf builds, where you would go Shirelias and Randuin. So you build a Philosopher's Stone and Heart of Gold into a Shirelias and Randuins, but they are sitting up here. Bloodwater kind of out of position. Atlanta gets the fast engage, just barely, not going to be able to close the gap. Doesn't want to risk it. His team wasn't really there.
And Loud Mortis actually with the bandage toss down onto Zuni. There's no choice but to taunt. Trying to make something happen off Atlanta, but Atlanta just doubles back onto Bloodwater with the slam into the wall. And may not be, there you go, does manage to get the kill anyway. The minions are still pushing on into the tower, and Legion's looking to see what kind of poke they can get. But they got their one kill, that's more than enough for them.
Yeah, and Poppy throwing off the ultimate onto Graves was able to just run around in the middle of the team, have his way with them, and that's kind of the threat that Poppy has, not just the late game damage, but the fact that he's really difficult to take down. We'll see if they can grab it out. Demon Lol just barely able to get out of range. So
yeah, Demon Lol has been getting caught out quite a bit, quite a number of times down bot lane, and hopefully that doesn't happen once you start hitting into these full 5-on-5 team fights. But he's there. That's a lot of damage. If he goes down, that Legion's going to be out of. They were trying to pursue. The Shirley was popped. Demon Lol trying to catch up with the Hood Stomp, but alas, not going to be happening.
Oh, are we going to get a bandage toss? No.
Yeah, Loud Mortis, his flash is down. His ult is still up though. So there's a lot of possibilities for damage here. And Atlanta just doing the dance, keeping the minions occupied, and just walking back and forth. Very good job evading Lay Waste pretty much all game.
Yeah, but it's going to be a serious issue for CLG Black. Not just how are they going to engage fights, but with how tanky and how survivable Legion's team is.
Oh, wow, Mortis gets caught in the wall, and there's the Shirelius pop, and that's the cue to go in. The Amumu ult getting 4 members of CLG Black, but it's not going to matter. Olaf does get that quick kill, and now Atlanta trying to 1v5 the whole team, but with that ult, you can do silly stuff like that. Walking into Demon Wall just so you can plug as much damage as possible, and then dashes across the entire team just to try and clear the way so Demon Wolf can actually escape out of there. 2 for free. There's a little bit of miscommunication from Legion, and is CLG Black going to go for it? I think they may actually be making a mad dash to Baron.
Yeah, they have a really good Baron team with Karthus. The issue is that Karthus has almost no mana, and once he wears himself out, that's going to be an issue. But he is pretty close to dying, so he almost will just want a suicide so he can get that mana refresh, because he is completely out. He's basically worthless to his team right now.
And has something to say about it, though. Cruiser's out in front, getting down the Vlad ult. Baron does fall. CLG Black will grab it. The thing is that will Legion be able to get a kill off this? Demon Low is back in the mix, and there you go. There's the kill down onto Bloodwater. Graves going down. Hoodstomp goes down as well. But can you get the kill onto Zuna, onto Vec? No. Nubish, can you be a support hero? I doubt it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be worse. They were able to get rid of the Baron on 3 of the members.
Yeah.
They only lost 3 members themselves, so it was a 3-for-3 exchange. CLG Black was to the benefit because they got the Baron, but, I mean, that was about as good as Legion could expect. So
yeah.
They'll be pretty even in the next fight. It does pull CLG Black a little bit back into this game, and they have a very tanky team themselves. They have plenty of damage if they can, you know, coordinate Olaf and everything. So I don't know, it's going to be an issue, but generally speaking, that was a pretty good job from Legion to pull it back.
Yeah, and you know, still a 5K lead. The Legion has over CLG Black, so you can still go ahead and take that with them into the bank. And you know, you still got a whole bunch. You still got all those GP10s on Atlanta, still making that money. Still, all those stock options are looking to start paying off. And you know, in terms of gold, is still not too far behind Karthus actually. And actually, there's a lot of members right now on Legion who are actually pretty well farmed and pretty well invested. Amumu actually being one of them as well. Still has all 3 of his GP10s. Got the Aegis. Got the Sunfire cape as well. It's not you're going to be up close and personal anyway. You want to go ahead and mitigate a lot of that armor and health. Always a good thing on a tanky guy like Amumu.
Yeah, the issue is going to be how much damage Karthus outputs against these kind of melees. But, I mean, health counters out that kind of AP, and then he has plenty of armor for the physical damage. So if they can burst down Karthus, they're going to be in a nice situation. Atlanta actually going in for it. He pops the Shurelius and uses his ultimate, but the Zhonya's Link gets out of there. Atlanta has to back off for a second.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bad situation when you have a Zhonya pop like that, but nice positioning from Loudmore. The ult getting all 3 members of CLG Black that are present, and now he needs to get out of there, hoping to Demon the Lull. And Atlanta can capitalize on all that damage. The Karthus ult, was that canceled? I think it may have been.
I think with Poppy, but very quickly they are getting pretty low. Shen is in pursuit. Graves is very good, and he gets the double kill. Very close to picking up a couple more. Cruiser turning back into the team, though. It gets plenty of the AoE and picks up the first kill. Olaf very close to going down as well, but the triple kill for Graves. He's going to be chasing down Poppy now. The quick dash. Inubish is going to go down. Is that a quadra kill? Just a second
barely
more.
Quadra, waiting for the delayed quadra. Did not get the quadra credit. That sucks.
And Atlanta denying that Penta potential, but even so, CLG Black have turned this game around in a huge way, and Legion, they're not quite able to combo their ultimates and everything like they would want to. They're not quite able to burst people down like they would want to. So everyone's getting kind of low and just hanging out. Poppy is still okay. He's very strong at this point, but there's nothing he can do. So the inhibitor is going to go down. So CLG Black just coming back in a very huge way in this game.
And even then, it was a little bit of a hasty move on Legion. They decided to engage in mid. It was pretty much only Poppy and Amumu. The rest of the team was just off elsewhere. And the fight started with just pretty much those two, and it spiraled out of control so quickly. And there's really nothing that could have been done other than just not engage in the first place. And I can understand. Yes, there's Karthus. He's out in the open. You want to try and get that kill, but that Hourglass just pretty much put the kibosh on all of their plans. Atlanta was committed. He was committed. He had the ult, was ready to slam, and then shing.
Well, and it wasted Atlanta's ultimate, which is huge. And against Poppy, you want to bait out the ultimate. That's the perfect way to bait it out, is you have him ultimate Karthus, and happens when they're just in a full head fight. Because a lot of the issue there was the fact that Vladimir, Poppy are really strong. Karthus and Olaf are very strong. They get the wall off, they get the stun, they get out of there. So CLG Black going to be able to pick up this dragon.
Right there, and Karthus is a pretty speedy dude at taking this, not to mention, Hoodstomp's actually recalling, he's not even attacking him, he's not even going to bother. But yep, real quick dragon for CLG Black that's going to try and close the gold lead, which is actually almost returned to even. There's only about 1,000 gold separating the two teams now, and Legion had such a huge lead. But 2 team fights later, and that's what happens sometimes if you just drop the ball. So the game has pretty much returned to near neutral here. There's, granted, there's more towers down on Legion's side than there is on CLG Black's side. But still, though, that's the fact that
they have plenty of damage on their team. Same thing with CLG Black. I mean, Graves is really deep into his item builds. He has the Last Whisper as well, so he's going to be absolutely crushing them with his AoE and his follow-up damage. And Karthus actually going Deathfires, so that is going to be interesting to see how that's going to affect Atlanta. If he decides, if Atlanta decides to ult on Karthus, then Karthus just throws off the Deathfires, tries to burst down Poppy really quickly, and then uses AoE to win the fight.
Yeah, and even then, even if Poppy's not within range, you got so many good targets. You know, Demon Well would be a fantastic target. Loud Mortis would be a fantastic target to take out as well. Not to mention the fact that, you know, Loud Mortis, he's got a lot of health on him. He's pretty damn tanky. Percentage-based damage would do wonders on him. Same thing with Cruiser, who's actually going down really quick, has no choice but to pull out of there. Loud Mortis on the back, getting the ult down on the Hoodstop, and there's a Shen ult trying to get him into this fight, and now it's a full 4-on-4 here top lane, and Amumu will go down pretty quick. Vek trying to get some extra damage. Poppy with the shutdown onto Graves, and now Vek, will you be able to find your way out of this bush? No, unfortunately not. Demon Well over the forest, looking to get some rocket kills. Zuna, who will go down first, and there you go.
I can't believe that they all lived through that. Fantastic play from Legion, able to win that fight. I'm going to take a look at that again because, I mean, every single one of them was getting low, but the one that surprised me the most was not only Vladimir, but Demon Law was caught in this just mess here with Olaf and Taric and Shen all on top of him, all trying to take him down. And then Cruiser comes back, and he's able to get over the wall, able to get out of there, pick up the kill onto Olaf. Really nice play from Legion to turn that fight around, and they have a really survivable team. They have, you know, great 1v1 damage dealers. Poppy can beat anyone in 1v1 basically. Corki's a little bit stronger than Graves in that kind of a situation. So by having that disorganized fight, they have the initial AoE and then get out of there, they're able to pick it up. But it all started with the Karthus, and Karthus almost soloing Vladimir. Was just like, what the hell? I can't imagine that Cruiser was watching that damage and thinking that he was expecting that at all. So able to survive through it. Really nice play getting out of there, picking up that kill.
They got the ace. Their gold lead is back to where it was 3 team fights ago. However, there's only so much that they can do with this. They did get the tier 2 in top, but remember, they have an inhib down. They do have to have some level of defense, but the Baron is back up.
Will be respawning shortly, though.
Yes, Baron's back up. Atlanta.
They could actually maybe pressure this if they try and go for it. Poppy has a lot of damage for Baron, along with Vladimir. They're a little hesitant, so at this point they can't. It's too late. There's no option. They're just going to get themselves screwed, so they're going to have to back off.
I think there is definitely a possibility where they can bait out a fight if they can just camp out a bush.
Atlanta.
There you go, with the ult being popped. Shirelia is waiting for the engagement. Atlanta's just out there running like crazy. But there you go. There's Shirelia's pop. They're looking to clean up on everyone. Vek does get the kill on the Soraka, but there you go.
And I can't believe that they were able to win that fight because it looked like it was such a dangerous situation for them, but they're able to just bait it out. They recognize how much stronger than CLG Black they are at this point, able to, you know, disengage there. But it all started off in Cruiser, Atlanta just running right into the middle of the team. He looked like he was in a terrible situation. Like there was just no way for him to possibly pick up that kill at all. He was just walking right in. Loud Mortis wasn't even there, but they were able to force it and win that fight.
But what they're doing is they're trying to just, you know, get everyone to climb down the rabbit hole. Just everyone follow me. There's more kills over here if you just go into this bush, which, by the way, our Amumu is waiting in with an ult. Have fun with that.
Yeah, so it did end up working out for them. They
all
all got very low.
Catch up with Vek. Yes, there is a slam. Shirelia is being popped. And Olaf is trying his best to get out of that situation, but I don't think it's going to be doing it too much. Vek, there's a Shen ult. I think this is a huge mistake here. Shen, the taunts can only do so much, and now he's alone, being trapped. 3 members of Legion. He does dash over to much. Whoa, Karthus.
Yeah, just barely able to pick up that Poppy kill through the passive. So, an even exchange. I mean, Olaf for Poppy is definitely huge. Poppy is so disruptive.
Considering the situation, too, that was really good.
Oh, yeah, getting rid of the Baron and everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was able to get the inhibitor and get out of there. So it was a really nice play from Vek, you know, helping bring his team in. That inhibitor is going to help stall them some. Karthus has plenty of AoE clearing. Graves as well. The issue with Graves is that in order to stall in front of a tower, he has to get kind of close range, particularly since the changes to his buckshot. But I don't know, it's still not going to be that much of an issue. So it will help stall Legion a little bit, but with Amumu, they could consider just tanking the tower. The issue is you really don't want to walk into that Karthus wall. So they could probably just stall out this entire Baron buff right now.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to walk into a Karthus who also has a DFG, which can take a huge chunk out of you. And you know, that's the reliance on Legion with Amumu. They want him to be out front. They want him to take a lot of damage. He is the main initiator for the team, if not the only main initiator for the team as well. Let me just rephrase myself there. But Atlanta's also Atlanta is now just respawned, going to be looking to join up with the rest of the team sans buff. But yeah, there really
Wow.
isn't a whole lot of opportunity.
Atlanta's build, if you haven't checked it out yet, he's going Infinity Edge Poppy. So, getting that crit chance.
Sold the GP10s. Now it's time to make an investment.
He's a killer. He's got plenty of damage. So that's going to be interesting to watch. He's already
ridiculous.
surviving through these fights pretty successfully. So having all that damage, 300 damage when he has his W procced, and then having all that crit chance as well is pretty devastating.
That's ridiculous. That is amazing, amusing, all other adjectives that begin with A. There's a lot of stuff that Poppy can do, and Atlanta never ceases to impress me with these builds, with his champ selections, with the way he just plays characters. This is an amazing treat to watch, but it is still not over. Granted, Legion has a 9K lead. Actually, I think no, 11K lead. My bad.
74 minus 63.
I can math. Yay, I can math. 12K now.
Yeah.
But there
Can
you
we
go.
get like a sticker or something? And
I
it'll
want
have a gold star and a
I want
smiley
a gold
face?
star. I want a gold star.
We'll start putting them around the office. I mean, regardless, they've done a fantastic job getting themselves back in this game, and the big issue is that they're starting to be able to counter out Karthus's damage some. So he has a little bit of AoE, but now that they're starting to build some magic resist, they have plenty of HP. Karthus can't quite get the damage that he needs to, so it's all about physical damage, and having these late game physical armor items are huge, and having the Randuins to kind of shut down Graves' build, and the fact that Poppy is such an effective anti-carry. He can just be really disruptive and shut down a lot of Graves' damage. So that's a serious concern. Graves picking up the Quicksilver Sash. I don't remember if it cleanses Poppy's ultimate. I think that it does. So that will be nice if Poppy ever ults.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it does. But then again, it's been forever. Still managed to get a whole bunch of damage, and there's a double kill onto Corki. But Karthus ult, how many will you get? Just got Vlad and the Soraka. So that's 2 for 4, advantage Legion, and Olaf once again the odd man out, escaping from that fight. But wow, wonderful damage coming in from Legion.
Yeah, but the nice thing about what CLG Black has been doing is by pushing these lanes constantly, by having that mid inhibitor, even though Legion was able to win that fight, all the lanes are pushed, so there's not really a great opportunity for Legion to do much damage. They're going to be able to take down the second turret, but that might be about it. It's going to be pretty tough for them to take down the mid turret or the inhibitor, considering that they have to fight against these Mega Minions. We'll see if they can do it. And I don't know, Olaf the only one holding off, but they do have the push in the top and bot to worry about.
Atlanta doesn't have a care in the world. Turret, what turret? I don't care. Bandage, quickly done. And that is the ace, but Bloodwater has just come up. Hoodstomp should be back there as well, along with Zuna. Everyone just like one by one coming up very slowly, but this inhibitor is going to go down before any of them have a chance to come back to the mid and react.
Yeah, I mean, Legion has just brought this game full circle, and now they're 15K gold ahead, so, really nice job there. They had almost completely lost the lead. It looked like CLG Black was going to be able to pull it off, and they're just in that late game where they're almost unkillable. Vladimir, barely able to survive through a lot of that fight, and Poppy is just so devastating at this point, so...
with the last Whisper now being bought. Sold the Heart of Gold, sold the last GP10 to get the last Whisper, to just shred through most of the armor, because you do have Olaf with the Randuins, and you got what other armor do you have? You actually got two Randuins omens on CLG Black as well, so it's gonna be slicing through those.
I mean, he just wants to kill whoever he feels like, and
pretty much
he's going to have that option. Next to go is the Shurelya, so we'll see what he ends up building into. But
I want this game to go on just to see what he does get.
Well, it's not going to be very long, but he does have plenty of damage at this point. It's worked out very nicely for him. There was a really nice thought going with the Poppy in that mid lane.
So, Baron number 3 should be coming up in the near future. So now it's just he's going to be a major point of contention for CLG Black, because if they can manage to somehow eke this out, catch someone from Legion off guard, and isolate them, and manage to take a team fight. It's to the point where this game is just whoever wins the next team fight could just very well win it straight out. You do have Shen in the bot lane looking to split push, but I think the Baron's actually going to go down way quicker, and there's no vision in the area. So right now, just CLG Black, they're none the wiser. They're all looking, and hopefully, I really don't think... Is there going to be a base race?
I think it is going to be a base race.
Oh,
they know
man.
they don't have a lot of options here. CLG Black is so far behind, they can't win any of these fights. They're going for it.
Oh, this is it. This is a base race situation. CLG Black, they're going straight on in. There is an open inhibitor that they can take out and then just go straight in for the Nexus. Cruiser has decided to recall to go back to try and defend this push, but meanwhile, it looks like Atlanta's actually just going to go ahead and stick it out. 4 members of Legion have actually decided to back to try and defend against this attempted push, and I think they may very well have deflected it. Granted, they did get inhibited in the process, but there's a tier 3 going down in bot lane, and right now this is a 4v5. Mumu with the ult, trying to keep everyone still, and Karthus will be the first one to go down, popping down the ult. Mumu does go down to the ult, but in the meantime, Atlanta is still over in the base, looking to take out all these towers, and can he actually finish up before CLG Black has an option to respond? I think they're pretty much safe. Legion should be able to grab this Atlanta, taking out the second Nexus turret. There's no time for CLG Black to get here and defend this. I think this may very well be it. All the minions are frantically pushing. There's nothing that can be done. Demon Wall still managing to get kills on pursuit, and there you go. Nexus goes down. I thought we were gonna have like a massive horse race. I thought we were gonna have a huge
Legion knew
race.
that they didn't want to have that situation, so
they had a great
Legion,
defense.
They were far enough ahead that they knew they could win a 4v5 situation. So it didn't really matter that much. They were able to take advantage of those fights, only send a couple of them back. They're able to win the 4v5, play defensively. They didn't want to have a full-on engage. It looked for a second like Legion was just going to have an all-out fight. Like, please don't do this, because if they lost an all-out fight, that would have given CLG Black an opportunity to just, steal their base, take the Nexus, and then it would have been a base race. But they were able to play defensively. They have, Vladimir and Sirach and everything. It's very difficult to take them down. And then Poppy, with his damage build, was able to take down the Nexus in the back. So, there it was.
Masterfully done. Legion coming out with game 1. That was game 1.
Yeah, that was game 1.
We still got to go to, at the very least, game 2, and hopefully it'll be equally as entertaining. I don't think that's going to warrant a Poppy ban, though. I think that was just, it was more because of the Karthus pick in mid. But gonna see, what happens. I think we're just gonna go to try and get this game up underway, try and get a room going. But until then, though, we're just gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment. CLG Black versus Legion IPL face-off, San Francisco Showdown qualifiers. We'll be back in a moment.